Hello, everyone, dear friends. It's me, Joy, along with anxiety, anger, and disgust. Today, Tim is playing a mode called Minions Berries Prison Run.
Hello, everyone. Look, Tim has been locked up here by the minions. There's one of them patrolling the corridor. Look, he looks scary, and he could harm us.
Forget about him. Let's escape through the ventilation quickly. Hi, subscribers. How's it going? Write in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Your support is very important to us and to Tim.
Hi! This place is disgusting. Look at the walls and floor. Everything is covered in dust and dirt. Honestly, it was cleaner in the cell. Let's find a way out quickly. Subscribers, help us out!
Guys, let's stay optimistic. Everything is fine. Tim is smart and brave. He'll definitely find a way out of here. Where have we ended up? This room looks pretty strange, don't you think? Oh, look at that minion. He's so funny and cute, even though he's standing by the door.
Oh no! He's starting to move towards us. What should we do? We need to find a safe place quickly before he catches us.
Stop panicking. We need to move quickly and decisively. If we can make it to the ventilation, we can escape from him. Let's find our way and keep moving.
Oh no, not another ventilation. I can't stand these dirty, cramped spaces anymore. But if it's the only way to escape that dreadful minion, I'm ready to go through it.
We did it! We're in the ventilation now, and the minion can't reach us. Now we just need to find our way out and seize every opportunity.
Wow, what is this room? Everything looks so luxurious. And what if the chandelier in that room fell on us?
All right, we've ended up in the minions' dungeon. Tim needs to stay alert. Minions are very cunning and stealthy. They could appear right beside us at any moment. We must get through this challenge and move forward.
It's full of rats and so cold here. It's really disgusting. Guys, hit the like button and subscribe so we can get out of here as soon as possible.
Disgust. It's not that bad here. There's water, it's spacious, and it's humid. What's more interesting is what awaits us next. This is truly an exciting and amazing adventure.
Oh no, this huge ball could crush us. How do we move forward? It looks so terrifying. I'm about to cry from fear. Tim, please be careful. I'm begging you, make it to the end.
Anxiety. Tim is doing great. Come on, Tim, I believe in you. You can overcome this giant ball and make it to the end. Forward, just keep going.
Tim almost made it. Great job. He did it.
See? Even though you were worried, Tim has everything under control. He'll make it to the end.
Joy, I think this is a great moment to share a couple of interesting stories with our viewers. What do you think?
Yes, great idea. Let's share a couple of exciting stories with our viewers while Tim continues his adventure. I hope you'll enjoy them. Guys, have you hit the like and subscribe buttons? Then let's get started. This story is about Tim's transition to a new school. The first day at the new school was a real adventure. Tim was eagerly looking forward to it. There were many new faces around, and he was full of enthusiasm. I could feel his joy and inspiration. We eagerly watched as he smiled, made new friends, and explored his new surroundings. Each new discovery brought him joy, and his energy was simply contagious.
I couldn't help but worry about Tim. A new class, new teachers, new rules. Everything was new to him. I was concerned about how he would handle the adaptation and whether he would be able to get along with his classmates. Every little detail seemed important to me, and I was anxious about how he would feel in the new environment. I was scared that he might be left alone or that something might go wrong.
When I saw how some of the kids in class reacted to Tim, I was furious. I was irritated when some of the kids started teasing or showing unkindness. It was unfair. Tim deserved better than such taunts. I was ready to fight for his dignity and protect him from any attempts to belittle him.
Some moments of the first day were simply unpleasant. I felt disgusted when I saw the untidiness in the school cafeteria or locker room, and some kids behaved rudely and disrespectfully. All of this created an unpleasant impression and sometimes overshadowed the joy of new experiences. I was disappointed that the initial stage could be spoiled by such small things.
Despite all the difficulties, Tim managed to get through the first day. He found new friends and adapted to the new environment. His smile and positive energy returned when he realized that things weren't as scary as they had seemed at first. We were thrilled with his successes and the fact that he was able to overcome all the initial hurdles.
By the end of the day, I felt a sense of relief. Tim began to feel more confident, and his anxiety gradually subsided. Although I still worried about his adaptation, I saw that he started to get along with his classmates and felt more comfortable. It was reassuring.
I was glad that Tim was able to show who he was despite the initial difficulties. Even though some kids continued to behave inappropriately, Tim didn't let them break him and kept moving forward. I was proud of how he held his ground and didn't give in to provocations.
Although the first impression of the school had some unpleasant moments, I saw that Tim managed to overcome the difficulties and kept moving forward. It was important for him, and I understood that he was able to leave the negative moments behind and start a new chapter of his school life with a positive attitude.
Thus, the first day at the new school, though it began with worries and difficulties, became the start of a new and exciting adventure for Tim. We were happy to see his growth and development, and were confident that he would have many wonderful moments ahead. Hey guys, did you enjoy the story? Hit that like button and subscribe. When Tim watched the horror movie, he was thrilled by the plot and special effects. It was an exciting and tense adventure that kept him on edge until the very end. I was happy to see him enjoying the genre and how his eyes sparkled with enthusiasm. In the evening, he discussed the movie, sharing his favorite moments, and it was fun and interesting.
But as night fell, I began to worry. Tim became nervous and anxious, and although I knew the movie was just fiction, his fears started to haunt him. I was concerned he wouldn't be able to sleep, and that his nighttime fears might seriously affect his well-being. I was anxious about every creak and shadow that might remind him of the scenes from the film.
In the morning, when strange things started happening, I was outraged. Why did these things have to happen? It was unfair. Tim had already endured a night full of fears and anxieties, and now he was being plagued by oddities. It was simply unacceptable. I was ready to fight to protect Tim from any potential troubles.
When the oddities started occurring, I felt disgusted. The strange noises and mysterious events not only scared Tim, but also made me feel uncomfortable. I was distressed that reality seemed to be turning into a terrible movie that Tim had watched. It was unpleasant and gave me a sense of anxiety and distaste.
Despite all the fears and discomforts, Tim managed to find the strength to handle the situation. He began to see everything that was happening as mere coincidences and approached the situation with humor. His ability to find positivity, even in difficult situations, helped him overcome his fears and regain his calm. I was happy to see him smiling again and tackling all the problems with confidence.
As things began to settle down, I felt a sense of relief. Tim managed to handle the situation and regain his calm. Although I still worried about his nighttime fears, I was glad that he was able to see the events as part of his imagination and deal with them. It gave me confidence that he could handle any challenges that came his way.
I was glad that Tim could handle the situation despite all the discomforts. Although what was happening was unfair and annoying, he didn't let his fears take over and kept moving forward. I was proud of how he showed resilience and courage.
Although all these oddities were unpleasant and made me feel uncomfortable, I was happy that Tim was able to overcome his fears and return to a sense of normalcy. These events reminded us of how important it is to stay calm and not let fears and discomforts control us.
So, despite all the difficulties and nighttime fears, Tim managed to handle the situation and return to normal life. We were all happy to see his confidence and ability to deal with challenges. It was a lesson in how important it is not to let fears control you and to find joy and courage even in the toughest situations.
Hey everyone, our stories have come to an end. We really hope you enjoyed them. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Your support means a lot to us.
While we were sharing stories, Tim has reached the final challenge, Mega Minion Boss. This is a very serious opponent, but we will crush him. Tim is strong and brave, and he will definitely defeat him.
Oh no, he's so big and gross. It's disgusting to look at him. Do we have any other options? Do we really have to fight him? Maybe there's a way to avoid him somehow.
Hooray! Tim defeated the boss. We did it. Tim has completed this level. Guys, you definitely need to like and subscribe for this. It's amazing.
It was really scary, but this level is truly interesting and dangerous. Guys, thank you for being with us. Thanks for watching and for your support. Bye for now.
Hi, friends! Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Your support is super important to us, you know that. Wow, we're in Roblox again. This time the mode is called Escape the Baby Beetle Daycare. How cute! Let's see what we need to do. Look, there are tiny beetles crawling around in diapers so small and funny. We need to escape the daycare with these little guys.
Beetles? In diapers? And we have to escape? That sounds suspicious. What if they're not as cute as they seem? Maybe they're actually giant evil beetles pretending to be babies, so we let our guard down and then they'll pounce on us?
Oh, come on! It's just a game, not real beetles. Look, we need to jump over these giant alphabet blocks, and over there are some puddles of milk. I think it's from those little ones who couldn't hold on to their bottles. Isn't that funny?
Puddles of milk! That might not be milk. It could be some sticky liquid that traps us. Imagine, you're walking, and suddenly your foot is stuck, and you can't get out. And those blocks, they're so big, if you fall, there's no getting back up. Why are the blocks in a daycare this huge?
Well, because this isn't an ordinary daycare, it's for beetles. Tiny beetles need big toys to make their world more fun. Hey, look over there. It's a maze made out of giant diapers. I wonder if we can get out before nap time starts.
A maze of diapers? That's just too much. Wait, what if they smell? No thanks. I'm not sure we should go in there. What if those beetles catch us and lock us in one of the cribs? There's probably a whole swarm of them crawling around us.
Oh, come on! They're just baby beetles. We just have to be faster than them. And look, they're so slow and clumsy. Oh, and over there's a crawling park. Imagine, giant tunnels and slides, just like a real daycare. How about we go down the slide?
Go down the slide? What if it's too steep? What if it leads straight into some abyss? What if there's a giant beetle waiting at the end ready to grab us? I think we should avoid any slides or tunnels in this place.
No way. This is just a playground, and those slides are pure fun. Come on, let's take a risk. Oh, by the way, there are swings here too. They're so big you could fly across the whole room. What do you think if we get enough speed? Could we fly over all those blocks and milk puddles?
Fly over the milk puddles? That's exactly what I'm afraid of. Imagine if we don't make it and land right in that sticky mess. I'd rather find a safer route and try to get out without any adventures.
You're always like that. This is a daycare. It's supposed to be fun. Oh, look, here's another fun part. Giant rattles. They're swinging above us and we have to dash under them before they hit us. That's where the excitement is.
Rattles? That could hit us? Perfect. Just perfect. Why would anyone need giant rattles? I don't understand why this game makes everything around us giant and dangerous. I just want to get out of here, and the sooner, the better.
And the exit is actually close by. Look, there's a door with the word exit on it, but there's a lock shaped like a giant beetle. I think we need to find a key, which is probably hidden somewhere among the toys.
Of course, hidden among the toys. What if it's a trap? What if the beetles left the key there on purpose so we scramble around and fall into their web, or whatever beetles use for traps? We need to be careful.
What traps? We just have to be a little smarter and quicker than these cute little beetles. Let's go find that key and escape the daycare. Oh, look, one of the beetles is crawling with the key in its mouth. Do you think we can catch it?
A beetle with the key in its mouth? Oh, that's just perfect. Now we not only have to dodge giant rattles and jump over milk puddles, but also chase beetles. Are you sure we can pull this off?
Of course we can. We catch that beetle, grab the key, and walk out of here as winners. It's just another adventure we're going through together.
Guys, I think it's the perfect time for some really exciting stories. Are you ready? Make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get started.
I don't often find myself in the memory department. Usually, I focus on the present, bringing light and warmth to the moment. But one day, anxiety and I wandered in there and got stuck. It was unexpected. We were trying to help someone remember a happy moment from their life, but something went wrong. Instead of simply finding the memory and returning, we were trapped in the chaos of their past.
I felt something was off right away. The air was thick with worry. Every step through these corridors was like walking through a dense fog filled with the shadows of forgotten memories. Ahead of us stretched a labyrinth of images and sounds, all mixed up and confusing. This was not a place I wanted to stay in.
But I decided not to panic. After all, I'm Joy. We just need to find the right path. And everything will be fine, I told myself. We started moving through the memory labyrinth. Somewhere we saw scenes from his childhood, playing ball with friends, laughing and having fun. There was so much light, but it seemed faded, like it was covered in dust.
That didn't surprise me. I knew that many of his memories had lost their brightness, and some had even turned into nightmares. Suddenly, one of those memories flashed before us, a moment when he was overwhelmed by failure at work. It was a day when he felt helpless and disappointed. And as soon as we got close to this memory, I felt myself being pulled into those emotions.
I saw anxiety getting heavier, as if old fears were wrapping around her. We couldn't stay there, but I realized I couldn't leave without her. I had to act fast. I tried to find something bright in that memory. And then I remembered that after that tough day, he still found the strength to go home and spend the evening with his family. There was joy in that, even if it was hidden behind the disappointment.
And it was true. When Joy started focusing on that, I felt my grip on the fear loosen a bit. We were able to move forward, but the memory labyrinth seemed endless. Each new memory brought either flashes of joy or waves of anxiety. I knew that if we got stuck in the negative moments, we wouldn't be able to escape.
I realized the only way out was to find the brightest memory, the one that could light the entire way. And then, among all these chaotic images, I saw it. A scene where he met the love of his life for the first time. A bright sunny day, smiles, conversations, when the whole world suddenly felt warmer and happier. This memory was so powerful that I literally felt it pushing us out of the labyrinth.
It was like a beam of light in the fog. And though I still felt the lingering traces of anxiety, after all, the fear of losing loved ones or facing future pain was always there, I realized we were nearing the exit. The memory was so strong that it helped us move forward. Joy shone brighter, and finally, we found our way back.
We broke free! And the most important thing we learned from this journey was that memories, even those filled with pain and fear, can't completely consume us if we find even the smallest glimmer of joy in them. Now that we're back, I know for sure that I can always help find the light, even in the darkest corners of his memory.
And I learned that even in the labyrinth of memories, where fears seem endless, there's always a way out. The key is not to let yourself drown in the past and keep moving forward, leaning on joy. So, how did you like the story? If you enjoyed it, then let's keep going.
The day promised to be amazing. The sun was shining, and the person we were helping decided to try something new, going ice skating. He had never skated before, but he was determined to give it a go. As always, I was excited. After all, new experiences are always a reason for joy, right?
Well, Joy, you're always the optimist. As soon as I heard about the ice rink, all I could think of was everything that could go wrong. He could slip, fall, get injured, or worse, everyone around him would laugh. I started whispering these fears to him, reminding him of everything that could go wrong.
I saw him hesitate at the entrance to the rink. But that's no reason to give up. I tried to focus his attention on the joyful possibilities. How fun it would be to glide on the ice, feel the wind on his face, how great it would be to learn something new. I was literally pushing him to give it a try.
Of course, he finally decided to put on the skates. But when he took his first step on the ice, I immediately felt his uncertainty. His knees were shaking, his legs were sliding in different directions, and everyone around him seemed so confident, like they were born skating. I ramped up my efforts. You can't do this! You're definitely going to fall. Why are you even trying?
Oh, anxiety. Why so negative? Sure, it was tough at first, but that's normal. Everyone starts somewhere. I reminded him that falling is part of learning, and how much fun it would be when he finally managed to skate a few feet. And then guess what? He fell, but he laughed. That was my little miracle.
Of course, I stayed close. I'll always be here to remind him of potential difficulties. But this time, he proved that sometimes it's worth giving yourself a chance, even if my warnings are ringing in your ears.
Exactly. We're both important, but the key is balance. Yes, starting something new can be scary, but the joy of overcoming that fear is always worth it. It's moments like these that make life richer and brighter.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and bye-bye, everyone.
Hello, dear friends. I am Joy. and today we will be playing Roblox in the mode Escape Carnival of Terror. Before we start, I'd like to ask you to like the video and subscribe to the channel, as well as leave a comment on which map we should play next. Let's begin the escape from this amusement park.
Yes, let's get started. Whoa, it's so hot in here.
Oh, look, a red balloon.
A red balloon? It's not just a balloon, it's a sign of danger. What if it's a trap or a symbol of some evil clown?
Anxiety, you're worrying too much. It's just a balloon. We're here to help Tim get through the game, not to get scared at every step.
But what if there's something behind that balloon? We need to be cautious, or we might get into trouble.
All right. We'll be cautious, but let's not panic over every little thing. Tim is strong. He can handle any challenges.
Just look down there. Those are some kind of teeth or fangs. It looks really disgusting, and that's probably why there's such an unpleasant smell here. We need to be extra careful not to fall onto those fangs.
Wow, that's a huge fire. I've never seen flames that big before. Tim, be careful not to get burned, or you'll end up looking like a piece of charcoal.
That's not even big. I see flames like that on my head every day when everyone annoys me.
Ugh, just look at this place. All these traps and dangers look horrible. Who even thought of creating such a disgusting room?
Wow, this is incredible. There's so much going on here. I think Tim will have fun overcoming all these traps.
Fun? Are you serious? It's dirty and dangerous here with all these nasty traps everywhere. One wrong step and he could be in big trouble.
Well, you're right. It does look dangerous. But just imagine how proud Tim will be when he gets through all this. He can do it, especially with us here to help him.
I just hope he doesn't have to touch anything gross. These spikes and mud pits are a nightmare.
Let's support him and help him stay focused. If we stay positive, Tim can handle any challenge. Go, Tim!
Wow, what a huge tower. We need to climb it to move forward, but it looks rusty and unstable. What if we fall? What if one of those pipes collapses and we fall back down? It would hurt Tim a lot.
Don't worry, Anxiety. Everything will be fine. Even our boy Tim doesn't weigh enough to break the platform. Plus, we're almost at the top.
These thin pipes look really unstable. What if one of them breaks under Tim's weight? We could fall and get injured.
And not just that. Look how dirty and rusty those pipes are. And the smell is awful. I don't even want to touch them.
Yes, and what if he touches something unpleasant or filthy? It could be dangerous and gross. I'm scared this could end badly.
I'm scared too, but if we don't move, we won't get through. I hope Tim will be careful and avoid stepping on anything disgusting.
Maybe we can find another way to get across? These pipes look very risky. I hope everything will be all right.
If we can't find another path, we'll have to use these. But we need to make sure Tim is as careful as possible to avoid touching those dirty pipes.
I want to tell you about the time Tim went on his first camping trip. It was such an exciting adventure. The sun was shining, the birds were singing, and the air was filled with the scent of pine trees. Tim was all set with his backpack, ready to explore the great outdoors. We could feel the thrill of the adventure right from the start.
Yeah, but it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. The first thing that went wrong was when Tim tried to set up the tent. Those instructions were ridiculous. They made no sense at all. I was ready to tear that tent apart. Tim struggled with it for what felt like hours, and I could feel my blood boiling, but we managed to get it up eventually.
You don't even remind me about that tent. It was old and musty, and there were bugs everywhere. The campsite wasn't much better, with muddy spots and weird smells all around. And when Tim tried to cook dinner over the campfire, he ended up with burnt marshmallows and half-cooked hot dogs. It was all so gross. I just wanted to get out of there.
Oh, and the night. That was the worst part for me. Every little sound outside the tent made me jump. What if there were wild animals lurking around? What if the fire went out and we were left in complete darkness? I kept imagining all sorts of terrible scenarios. Tim tried to reassure me by saying it was just the wind or harmless forest creatures, but I couldn't help worrying.
But in the end, we made it through the night. When morning came, the forest looked magical in the early light. Tim even found a beautiful stream nearby, where he skipped stones and enjoyed the peaceful sound of the water. We had our ups and downs, but that camping trip turned out to be an unforgettable experience. It taught Tim a lot about resilience and enjoying nature, despite the challenges. And we were there with him every step of the way, helping him navigate the adventure. And before starting the next story, I would like to ask you to like and subscribe to the channel.
Now we're going to tell you a story about how Tim went skating for the first time.
It was such an exciting day. The ice was smooth and sparkling, and we all felt that this was going to be an amazing adventure. Tim was determined to learn how to skate and enjoy every moment on the rink.
Yeah, but nothing went smoothly. At first, Tim kept falling, and I was furious. Those skates were so uncomfortable, and the ice was slicker than ever. I wanted to smash that rink to pieces. How can you enjoy skating when you're constantly falling?
And not just that. The ice was dirty with bits of snow and even some gum. Imagine how disgusting it was to fall on that ice. And when Tim tried to get up, his hands touched all that filth. I just couldn't stand it.
And every fall made me even more nervous. What if Tim seriously injured himself? What if he hit his head? It felt like something bad was happening with every step he took. I was terrified that the day would end in the hospital.
But you know what? Tim didn't give up. He got up again and again, despite all the falls and difficulties. And by the end of the day, he was skating much more confidently. He even made a few laps around the rink without falling. It was incredible to see how his perseverance and determination paid off. We were all so proud of him.
Yeah, he did it in the end, but that doesn't mean I'll forget how many times he fell. Those skates still piss me off.
I'm glad he stopped falling into that filth. It was horrible.
And I'm glad it all ended well. Tim showed that even when it's scary and tough, you can overcome your fears and learn something new. He's amazing.
Exactly. It was an unforgettable day, full of emotions and challenges. But in the end, Tim proved to himself that he could handle any difficulty, and we were there to support him every step of the way. It was such a wonderful day. The sun was shining, the pools were filled with crystal clear water, and there were so many slides and attractions around. Tim was thrilled and couldn't wait to try everything.
Yeah, but I wasn't too happy. The first slide we went to was closed. I was furious. How can you go to a water park and not find a working slide? It's just absurd. But Tim insisted on trying the other slides.
And not just that, in some pools, the water was cold and smelled like chlorine. Ew! I just couldn't stand that smell. And when we went to the wave pool, there were some leaves and trash in the water. It was disgusting.
The scariest thing for me was the tall slides. What if Tim didn't hold on and fell? What if someone accidentally pushed him? It seemed like every slide was a danger. I was constantly worried about him.
But Tim was determined. He went down the tallest slide and screamed with excitement. He swam through the artificial waves and laughed as he was tossed up and down. He even tried the water trampoline and managed to jump really high. We were all so happy to see him enjoying every moment.
Well, he did well, but I'm still mad about that closed slide. I hope everything works properly next time.
I'm glad he had fun, but I felt out of place the whole time. I hope the water is cleaner and without that awful smell next time.
And I'm glad everything ended well. Tim showed that he could overcome his fears and enjoy the adventure. He's really amazing.
Exactly. It was an amazing day full of fun and new experiences. Tim proved that even in the most challenging situations, you can find joy and enjoyment. And we were there to support him every step of the way. I want to tell you about the time Tim baked a pie for the first time. It was such a fun day. The kitchen was filled with the aroma of fresh apples and cinnamon, and the whole atmosphere was brimming with the anticipation of something delicious. Tim was so excited and couldn't wait to taste his first homemade pie.
Oh, sure, it was fun, especially when flour ended up everywhere except in the bowl. I was furious. How can you be so clumsy? And the eggs. How do you crack eggs and get shells in the batter? It's just absurd. But Tim didn't give up and kept trying.
And not just that. The whole process was so messy and sticky. I couldn't stand how the dough stuck to his hands, and then he had to clean it all up. And when he added too much cinnamon, I just couldn't bear the smell. It was disgusting.
The whole baking process was a real trial for me. What if the pie burned? What if the dough didn't bake properly? It felt like every minute was filled with danger. I was constantly worried about him.
Well, it's time to wrap up the story and say goodbye. I hope you've liked the video and subscribed to the channel. It really helps us and Tim. Goodbye for now, and see you next time. Hello, dear friends. Today we are going to escape from the Pomni prison. But before we start, let's all give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. This will help our boy Tim to complete challenges more often so that videos can come out more frequently. Let's get started with the escape.
Yes, let's get started.
I heard that Pomni can be beautiful, but you should never fall for this provocation. It's a trap. That's how she lures people in and then locks them in a cage. Therefore, you must always remember that she is very evil and bad. Remember, you can never judge someone as good just because of their appearance. Inside, that person could be very bad and betray you at any moment.
Yes, I agree with Anger. You can never put your hopes on someone just because of their beauty.
I think you need to break that grate with the key on the wall. Take this key and break the grate so we can move forward.
Wow, everything here is so colorful, but I don't like it at all. She probably lures people in not only with her beauty, but also with the brightness and vividness of her rooms. But we mustn't pay attention to that either. Otherwise, we'll end up behind bars again and have to escape all over.
She runs much faster than the usual guards. Although it's strange because men are usually faster and more enduring, but apparently not this time. I think she runs day and night to catch her captives. Otherwise, she wouldn't catch anyone.
Yes, she is fast. But our boy Tim is much faster than her. She will never catch him, even if she trained every day to run faster than she currently can. That's because Tim is naturally strong, fast, and enduring. This helps him escape from all kinds of troubles.
I really dislike the brightness of her rooms. It's blinding and irritating to my eyes. I feel like if we don't get out of here soon, we might go blind from all this bright color.
Wow, we've descended into some kind of cave or underground tunnel. Perhaps it was dug by previous escapees from this prison. Despite being underground, it's still very bright here. It looks like colorful and vivid crystals have grown everywhere. The bright light reminds me of fireworks that are set off during various celebrations, such as New Year's, birthdays, and so on.
There are some platforms here. I think we need to jump across them to move forward. Tim, be careful when you're jumping. One wrong move, and you'll fall straight into the lava.
Let's not distract Tim and let him complete this level, so we'll tell the story of how Tim learned to ride a bicycle. One day, Tim decided he wanted to learn how to ride a bike. It was a warm, sunny day, perfect for a new adventure. I, Joy, couldn't wait to help Tim tackle this challenge. Tim took his new bike and went to the empty street near his house. "What an exciting moment," I exclaimed. "Tim is about to do something new and thrilling. I'm sure he'll have a great time." At first, Tim was a little nervous, but I encouraged him. "You can do it, Tim. It's going to be fun and amazing. You'll feel the wind in your hair and the freedom of movement." He put on his helmet and grabbed the handlebars with determination. We were all supporting him.
As Tim began trying to balance, anxiety started to worry. Oh no, what if he falls? What if he gets hurt? What if he can't learn to ride and gets upset? I fretted, watching his every move. Biking can be dangerous. I hope he's careful and doesn't get into trouble.
I, Anger, was irritated by all the difficulties Tim faced. Why does riding a bike have to be so hard? I grumbled. Why can't he just learn immediately? It's so frustrating when things don't go smoothly. But despite my frustration, I knew it was important to support Tim. He has to deal with these challenges to get better, I said. But it's definitely annoying when he falls and makes mistakes.
Disgust watched the process with thinly veiled disdain. Ew, look at those dirty knees and elbows from falling. Why does biking have to be so messy and unpleasant? The sweat and dirt are awful, I complained. But Tim isn't giving up despite all the unpleasant moments. We need to support him, even if it's really gross.
Despite all the worries, frustrations, and unpleasantness, Tim kept practicing diligently. His efforts paid off, and one day he finally managed to ride without falling. "Look at that! He did it!" I cheered. "He learned to ride a bike." All our support and encouragement helped him get through the challenges. He's so proud of himself, and it's such a joy to see his success.
Although Tim succeeded, I still worried a bit. I hope he's careful on the road and always wears his helmet. Biking can be dangerous, but he did great today. I'm glad he learned to ride, but I'll keep worrying about his safety.
I had to admit that seeing Tim finally riding without falling made me a little less irritated. All right, maybe it wasn't as easy as it seemed, and he handled the challenge as well. Despite the frustrations, he overcame all the obstacles. Maybe biking isn't so bad after all.
Even though the process of learning to ride a bike was messy and unpleasant, seeing Tim's satisfaction made it more tolerable. I suppose it's worth it if he's happy. Maybe next time won't be so gross. We just have to get through the unpleasant moments to enjoy the success. In the end, Tim's experience learning to ride a bike was memorable, filled with challenges and achievements. Despite all our different feelings, we were all proud of how he learned and succeeded in his new skill.
Before we start the next story, we'd like to ask you to subscribe to the channel and give us a like. The next story will be about Tim's first experience at a concert of his favorite band.
The day Tim had been waiting for had finally arrived. His first concert of his favorite band. Joy was absolutely thrilled for him. Tim had been counting down the days and preparing for this moment for weeks. When the big day came, he wore his favorite band t-shirt, packed his tickets, and headed to the venue with a huge smile on his face. "This is going to be amazing," I cheered. Tim is about to experience something he's dreamed about for so long. The music, the atmosphere, the excitement. It's going to be unforgettable. As Tim walked into the venue, I felt an overwhelming sense of happiness. Look at him. He's so excited and ready for this experience. It's going to be one of the best nights of his life.
But as Tim got closer to the venue, anxiety started to creep in. What if he loses his tickets? What if there's a problem with the entrance? What if the concert is sold out and he can't get in? I worried, watching him with concern. There are so many things that could go wrong. I hope everything goes smoothly for him. Inside the venue, I continued to fret. The crowd looks huge. What if Tim gets lost or overwhelmed by all the people? What if he has trouble finding his seat? Anxiety was on high alert, hoping that Tim would stay calm and enjoy the concert despite any potential issues.
Anger was feeling frustrated by some of the challenges Tim faced. Why is it so crowded? Why are people pushing and shoving? This is so annoying, I grumbled. It's so irritating when people don't respect personal space. Why can't everyone just be considerate and let Tim enjoy the concert? As the concert started, I became even more irritated. The noise is so loud. Why does it have to be this overwhelming? It's just not fair to Tim that the sound is so intense and the crowd is so chaotic.
Disgust had its own issues with the concert experience. Look at all the spilled drinks and trash on the floor. Why does it have to be so messy? The sticky floors and the smell of sweat are just gross, I complained. And the smell of food mixed with all the sweat is really unpleasant. Despite the mess, Disgust acknowledged that Tim was having a good time. Even though it's disgusting here, I suppose it's worth it if Tim is enjoying the concert. It's just something we have to deal with in these kinds of situations.
Despite all the worries, frustrations, and unpleasantness, Tim was having an incredible time. The band came on stage, and the music was just as amazing as he had hoped. Look at him. He's so happy, singing along and enjoying every moment. This is exactly what he dreamed of, and it's such a joy to see him so thrilled. Tim's excitement was contagious, and even though there were some challenges, the overall experience was fantastic. He's living his dream right now. This night will be a cherished memory for him for years to come.
Even as the concert went on, I was still a bit anxious. I hope Tim stays safe and has a good time. The crowd can be overwhelming, but he seems to be handling it well. I'm relieved that he's enjoying himself despite the challenges.
As the concert went on, I had to admit that the frustration of the crowd and the noise seemed less significant. Okay, maybe it wasn't perfect, and there were some annoying moments, but Tim is really enjoying himself. I suppose the experience is worth the inconvenience.
Even though the venue was messy and unpleasant, seeing Tim's joy made it more bearable. It's still gross here, but if Tim is happy, that's what matters. We just have to get through the unpleasant aspects to enjoy the success of his experience. In the end, Tim's first concert experience was memorable, filled with excitement and challenges. Despite all our different feelings, we were all happy to see how much he enjoyed his favorite band's performance.
Well, the game is coming to an end, and Tim has defeated the final boss. I think he's learned that sometimes appearances can be deceiving and can lead to very bad consequences. It's important to always stay vigilant and cautious to avoid trouble. I hope you've already liked the video and subscribed to the channel. Well, I'm signing off now. Goodbye, everyone. Hello, everyone. It's me, your favorite Joy. Today, our boy Tim is going to face a very scary and dangerous challenge called Sir Scary's Mansion. Like the video and subscribe to the channel so we can get through this challenge together.
Hello, everyone. I'm already very scared. I'm really afraid of this man and his mansion. Oh no, he's chasing us. This is very alarming. Tim must run as fast as he can.
I'm about to explode like a volcano. Damn it! Why does this man think he can chase us? Tim, if you stop, we'll take him down in a second.
Do you hear those sounds? Tim, don't even think about getting close to him. It's dangerous and really disgusting. This man is so gross, he must not have showered in ages. He's a stinker.
All right, we're safe here. He can't reach us. Tim is in the ventilation. We need to keep moving.
I don't even know what to be afraid of anymore. I hope it only gets better from here.
Whoa, look at those huge, sharp red spikes. If Tim falls... No, Tim won't fall. Tim never falls. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments.
This room is so cold and smells terrible. Can we hurry up and get past these spikes? It should get easier after this, right?
Disgust? I don't think it will get easier, but Tim can handle it. Oh no, are those axes? Well, at least it's not lava or that old smelly man.
These axes are so sharp and big. Tim, please be careful and make it to the end. You're almost there.
The axes are behind us. Tim, you did great. Those huge axes are really dangerous. Even small axes can be dangerous too. I remember a forester once injured himself with a small axe. It looked harmless, but the forester was in a lot of pain afterward.
Anger. Don't talk about that. It's making me feel disgusted. Ugh, it's awful. How can you even talk about something like that?
Guys, maybe this staircase leads us to the exit. Look. Oh no, it's not the exit. These propellers are huge, almost like a helicopter's, just a bit smaller. Tim, maybe the exit is waiting for us behind them?
What a dangerous descent, Tim. Slow down, we might crash. Be careful.
Anxiety, it's okay, don't worry. Ahead, traps. I'm sure someone has already been caught in them, but we won't fall into them that easily, right, Tim? This challenge is within our power, darn it. I'll crush anyone who stands in our way.
It smells terrible up ahead. What is that in front?
There's a chasm below us, but it's okay, right, guys? Anyway, let's stay calm and not panic.
A chasm? Not panic? I'm about to cry from fear. This is so scary. Oh my God, where have we ended up? I'm so worried about our boy Tim. I just want to get out of here as soon as possible.
Tim did great. He turned off both valves, stopped the gas leak, and now we can move forward. No one fell, and you were also worried.
Guys, this is a great time to share some fascinating stories with you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's dive into the stories.
It's time to share an incredible story about how we helped a robber turn his life around. It all started when we found ourselves inside the mind of a man named Victor. He was a robber, and his life was filled with mistakes and bad deeds. Despite this, we knew that deep down, Victor was a good person.
I felt a great deal of anxiety when we learned who Victor was. He often found himself in trouble, and his life was full of fear and tension. I worried for him because I knew that this path would lead nowhere good.
When I realized that Victor was involved in robberies, I felt anger. Robbery is unfair, and I wanted Victor to understand that he couldn't treat others this way. I knew we had to help him see the consequences of his actions.
It was unpleasant to be in the mind of someone who did such things. Robbery and deceit are very repulsive acts. I wanted Victor to realize that such actions not only hurt others, but also harmed him.
We decided that we needed to help Victor find a better path. Instead of judging him, we tried to guide him towards the right way. We started showing him what his life could look like if he changed. We suggested to him that there were many ways to earn an honest living and feel true joy.
I was still worried that Victor might not be able to change his life, but we decided to support him. We encouraged him to think that he could start fresh if he wanted to. We also helped him find resources and people who could assist him.
I used my energy to help Victor understand how destructive his actions were. We reminded him of the people he had hurt and the consequences his actions could have. I wanted him to feel responsible for his actions.
We also helped Victor realize how distasteful his previous lifestyle was. We showed him that he could change his life and stop feeling bad about his actions. This was important for him to start respecting himself and others.
Gradually, Victor began to change. He found a job and started helping other people in difficult situations. We saw how his life was filling with joy and meaning. He was no longer the robber he once was. Now he tried to do good and help those around him.
I felt immense relief when I saw that Victor had found a new path. I no longer feared for his future because he had chosen the right way. Now his life was safer and more peaceful.
I was pleased to see that Victor had recognized his mistakes and decided to change his life. He became more responsible and considerate of others. This was something to be respected.
I was also happy with the changes. Victor stopped doing things that made him and others feel disgusted. Now he lived honestly and with respect for himself and those around him.
Now Victor lives a happy and honest life. We are proud that we could help him find the right path. This shows that even the toughest situations can change if a person is willing to change their life. Along with anxiety, anger, and disgust, we realized that everyone deserves a chance at a better future.
Did you enjoy the story? Give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and don't forget to leave your thoughts about our adventures in the comments.
One day, something incredible happened to Tim. It all started when he was walking in the park, and suddenly, a bright spaceship landed in front of him. Out came aliens who handed Tim a suitcase, promising that its contents would grant all his wishes on Earth. I was thrilled. This was a real miracle.
When the aliens gave Tim the suitcase, I immediately started worrying. A suitcase that grants all wishes sounded too good to be true. What if it was a trick or had hidden consequences? I was concerned for Tim's safety.
I felt suspicious right away. Who were these aliens? And why were they giving Tim a suitcase with such power for free? I was angry at them for putting Tim in a situation with so many unknowns.
I was skeptical of the whole situation. Aliens and a magical suitcase? It sounded dirty and questionable. I thought there might be something unpleasant going on, and I didn't like it.
Despite our doubts, Tim was full of curiosity. He opened the suitcase and found a strange crystal inside. The aliens explained that all he had to do was make a wish, and it would come true. We all started thinking about what to wish for first.
I suggested that Tim should first wish for something small to test how it works and if it's safe. Maybe wish for his favorite food or a small gift. I was very worried that something might go wrong.
I agreed with anxiety. Safety first. I didn't want Tim to wish for something grandiose right away and face unforeseen consequences. I suggested wishing for something simple but useful, like extra time to do homework.
I thought that if this really worked, we could use it for something useful and enjoyable, but not too risky. I didn't want Tim to wish for something too ambitious that could spiral out of control.
Tim decided to wish for his favorite pizza for dinner. And guess what? The pizza appeared right in front of him. It was amazing. We were all excited, but we understood that with such power, we needed to be cautious.
I was still worried. What if there was a price to pay for each wish? Or something might go wrong? We decided to use the suitcase only in extreme cases and not to abuse its power.
We agreed that it was best to use the wishes for something truly important and necessary. I insisted that Tim make his wishes thoughtfully and responsibly.
I still didn't like the idea of using the suitcase without being fully sure of its safety. Careful and observant of any consequences.
So, Tim and we, his emotions, decided to use the suitcase wisely and responsibly. We knew that magic needed to be used with intelligence and caution. This suitcase became a reminder of the importance of being mindful of our wishes and actions.
How did you like our stories? I hope you enjoyed them. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks to your support, Tim is almost at the end. Thank you, subscribers.
Yes, your support means so much to us. Over 90% of people watching our videos aren't subscribed. Let's change that, shall we?
What a disgusting water. It's green and looks dangerous. How can anyone swim in that? We need to stay on guard and get out of here as quickly as possible.
Oh, this really looks creepy. Green water might mean there are lots of algae or some chemical substances. We need to be extremely cautious to avoid getting hurt. Tim, look for a way to get out of this place quickly.
And we've reached the end. Thanks everyone for watching. Good luck and bye for now. Hello Hello, dear friends.
Hello.
Hello!
Hi.
Today we will be escaping from prison in Roblox in the Mode Berries prison run. But before the escape begins, we wanted to ask you to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and leave a comment on which map Joe should play next.
Yes, this really helps Joe. When you engage with the video, it becomes easier for Joe to complete the modes. Let's help him out.
Again with the vents. I hate them. Just let me know who the person is that installs them, and I'll fry them like a firecracker and blow them up.
Anger, calm down. We've already gotten out of it.
I think we should jump on those blocks to move forward.
Joe, don't look down. I'm really scared. Be careful when jumping on these blocks. If you fall, you'll land on the spikes.
It's so cold here, probably because of those large fans blowing in this direction.
Yes, I agree with you. It's very cold here.
I don't know. I actually feel quite warm.
Wow, these grates don't look very sturdy. Maybe we should look for another way?
No, there's no other way. We have to go through these grates. Joe, be careful when you jump on them.
I think we should break this grate with that key. Joe, take this key and break this grate.
It seems to me like this vent is connected to the bathroom, or why does it smell so bad here? I really dislike this odor.
Disgust, I think you're mistaken. I hear some screams. I think there's danger ahead. Joe, be careful.
Anxiety, you were right. There's a guard there. Joe, you need to be very fast to avoid getting caught by him.
Joe, run away from him quickly. If he catches you, he'll send you back behind bars. I don't think this pipe is meant for walking on.
Don't worry, Joe isn't heavy. He won't be able to break this pipe. Many people have walked and even jumped on it before Joe. As you can see, it's not broken.
Oh no, we forgot to press that red button to open that grate. We need to go down and press it. Joe, be careful not to get caught by the guard. It'll be really bad if you do.
Don't worry about him. He's very, very fat. I think he eats planets for breakfast. He'll never catch you. Even if you walk, he won't catch you. I don't know how they hire such fat guards. He can't catch anyone. Ha ha ha, don't be angry, guard. If you lose weight, you'll be able to catch everyone.
Stop insulting the guard already. It might hurt his feelings. Just run away from him. I even feel sorry for him.
Ah, these damn vents again. How much longer?
I was right after all. It is connected to the bathroom. Ew, it smells so bad here.
Yes, you were right. I really don't like this smell. It's just unbearable.
I completely agree with you. Let's get out of here as quickly as possible.
Here is the source of the smell. Don't pay attention to it, Joe. You need to take that shovel and start digging. We have to do this as quickly as possible.
It seems like a good time for stories. Oh, what a wonderful day it was when Joe decided to cook for the whole family. The kitchen was filled with excitement and anticipation. I could feel the joy bubbling up inside as we gathered ingredients and prepared to create something delicious.
Ugh, cooking again? Why does Joe always have to make such a mess? The chaos in the kitchen was infuriating. Spices scattered everywhere, pots clanging loudly. But I kept my cool, trying not to let my anger boil over.
The smells. Oh, the smells! As soon as Joe started chopping onions, my stomach turned. The pungent aroma filled the air, making me want to gag. Why couldn't Joe choose something less aromatic?
Oh dear, what if Joe burns the food again? I couldn't help but worry as I watched him handle the hot stove. What if something goes wrong? I fretted over every step, hoping we wouldn't end up with another kitchen disaster.
Despite the initial chaos and doubts, Joe's determination and our teamwork prevailed. We all pitched in, each of us playing our part to make sure everything turned out just right. The aroma of a well-cooked meal filled the kitchen, bringing smiles to everyone's faces.
Surprisingly, the food actually tasted good. Maybe Joe isn't so bad in the kitchen after all. I grudgingly admit that all the effort was worth it in the end.
I must admit, despite my initial aversion to the smells, the final dish looked quite appetizing. I cautiously tried a bite and was pleasantly surprised. It was delicious. Perhaps cooking isn't as bad as I thought.
Whew, everything turned out okay. I can relax now. Watching Joe cook was nerve-wracking, but I'm glad we were able to help him and enjoy a meal together as a family.
Now we will tell a story about how Joe learned to swim. Oh, what an exciting day it was when Joe decided to learn how to swim. The sun was shining brightly, and the pool shimmered invitingly. I could feel the anticipation and enthusiasm building up as we gathered by the water's edge.
Why does Joe have to do this now? The water is cold, and I hate getting wet. The thought of dealing with all this splashing and chaos is infuriating. But I tried to keep calm and not let my frustration show.
Oh no, what if Joe sinks or gets hurt? My heart raced with worry as I watched him hesitate at the edge of the pool. What if something goes wrong? I fretted over every possible scenario, fearing the worst.
The water. It's so gross. I can't stand the feeling of it on my skin, and the thought of all those germs floating around makes me shudder. Why did Joe have to choose swimming of all things?
Despite my initial concerns, Joe showed determination and courage. With our encouragement, he took small steps into the water, and I could feel his excitement growing with each stroke.
Oh, more splashing. Why does learning to swim have to be so messy? I grumbled inwardly, but begrudgingly admitted that Joe was making progress, even if it was annoying.
I held my breath as Joe practiced floating and kicking. Every little splash made me jump with anxiety, but I was relieved to see him improving under our watchful eyes.
The chlorine smell? It's overwhelming. I tried to stay back as much as possible, but I couldn't avoid the sensation of being surrounded by water. At least Joe seemed to be getting the hang of it, despite my discomfort.
Now I'll tell you a story about how Joe flew on a plane for the first time.
Oh, it's so exciting! I can't believe the feelings Joe is experiencing right now. I'm just overflowing with joy seeing him here in the airplane. His heart is racing as we take off, his eyes shining with delight. He dreamed of flying for so long, and now, finally, his dream is coming true. I feel his emotions filling every cell of his body. How he enjoys the views outside the window. How he smiles at every flight attendant and seatmate. It's wonderful to be a part of this moment of joy.
This airplane is absolutely dreadful. How can anyone sit comfortably in this cramped space? Why is everyone so slow and inattentive? These flight attendants are just useless. Why couldn't we choose a more comfortable flight? I'm seething with anger every time I see how we're being served. This is simply unacceptable. Joe, why aren't you showing more initiative? Why are you satisfied with this service? This flight isn't even worth our time and money.
What if something goes wrong? I'm nervous beyond belief. All these sounds, movements, vibrations. I can't stop thinking about potential issues. Flying on a plane is so dangerous. What if we have an accident? What if something happens to the engine? Joe doesn't realize all these risks. He's just enjoying the flight. But I fear for him. I feel his fear overwhelming me. His anxiety makes me worry and suffer. Every minute of this flight is a test for our nerves.
How can anyone stand being here? It's just a nightmare. This smell, these sounds, this cramped space. I just can't. I feel disgust washing over me with every breath Joe takes. How can he not feel this horrible atmosphere? It's all so dirty, so unpleasant. I just want to get out of here as quickly as possible. Joe, why can't you hear my cry of disgust? Why don't you understand that this place is simply hell on earth? The next story is about how Joe entered a new class and got to know his new classmates.
It was so exciting! When Joe entered the new class, I couldn't help but rejoice with him. His face lit up with a smile as he greeted his new classmates. He was so open and friendly. He quickly found common ground with the kids in the class, started talking to them, and showing interest in their hobbies. It was wonderful to see him blossom in this new environment, his eyes shining with joy from making new friends. We tried to support him, encourage him, and help him overcome any shyness. Each of his successes brought me immense joy.
I am just furious about this situation. Joe in a new class and his classmates, they are just unpleasant. Why aren't they showing more kindness towards him? Why aren't they making more effort to get to know him better? I am angry at how they are treating him. It's unacceptable. I quickly grew angry seeing how they ignore his attempts to befriend them. Joe deserves better. Why isn't he standing up for himself more? I'm ready to explode with anger if he continues to endure this.
I was terrified when Joe walked into that class. New people, new surroundings. How would he cope? What if they didn't accept him? We agonized over every word he said, every step he took. He looked so tense trying to start a conversation with his classmates. And what if they didn't understand his feelings and intentions? I felt his anxiety, how it overwhelmed him every minute. We tried to give him cues, support him, but every uncertain look he gave to those mocking faces intensified my fears. It was such a nerve-wracking experience.
I feel disgust overwhelming me as Joe tries to interact with these people. They are so unpleasant and hypocritical. How can he stand being in the same class with such awful people? I can't stand their appearance, their voices, their mannerisms. And every time Joe tries to engage in a conversation, I want to close my eyes and escape from here. This atmosphere fills me with disgust, and I hope Joe soon realizes what terrible people surround him.
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave your comment. Bye, everyone! Hi, everyone. Today we're going to play Roblox in the game mode MR Yummy Supermarket. Before we start, make sure to subscribe to the channel and give us a like, and also leave a comment about which game mode you'd like to see next. Let's get started.
I have a feeling that Mr. Yummy is not the cleanest person. Just look at this place. There are sauces spilled everywhere. It looks like ketchup and mustard. It smells so bad. It seems like something else has gone bad here too. He really needs to hire a cleaning company to sort this out.
Ugh, look at this mess. Just look at the floor. There are puddles everywhere. This place is disgusting. How can anyone work in such a filthy environment? And that Mr. Yummy guy looks so smug, like he doesn't care at all.
I know. It's really unsettling. What if those puddles are something harmful? What if they're dangerous? I'm really worried about Tim. What if he slips and hurts himself? We need to be extra careful here.
Seriously, how can someone be so careless? If he can't even keep his supermarket clean, what else is he neglecting? I'm so angry just thinking about it. We should do something about this.
I just keep thinking about all the potential hazards. What if those puddles are hiding something worse? We need to make sure Tim doesn't get hurt. I'm so anxious just looking at this place.
Well, we have to deal with it. If Mr. Yummy can't clean up his own mess, we might have to find a way to help him. But I'm not going to be happy about it.
Agreed. Let's just focus on keeping Tim safe and getting out of here. I'm too worried about all the dangers in this place to think about anything else right now.
I think these cashiers are unhappy with their work. Some look like they're hungry, others seem exhausted. Mr. Yummy doesn't seem to care about his employees at all and makes them work to the bone. We need to do something about this. Maybe punish him and help the cashiers.
Wow, look at this room. It's like a magical playground for kids. The walls are painted with bright colors, and there are so many toys and games scattered around. It's so cheerful and fun. I bet kids love spending time here.
Ugh, are you serious? Look closer. The toys are all over the place, and some of them look really dirty. There are crumbs and stains on the carpet, and it smells a bit musty. It's not as charming as it seems.
Come on, it's supposed to be a fun space for kids. A little mess is normal. Besides, those toys look like they've had a lot of happy playtime. The room has a lot of potential to be a great place for children.
Maybe, but the filth and disorganization are hard to ignore. I can't help but feel grossed out by the mess and the smell. It's not just a little mess. It's pretty disgusting.
I understand that it might not be perfect, but the overall vibe is still positive. If someone cleaned it up a bit, it would be a fantastic space for kids to play and enjoy themselves.
Well, I suppose you're right about the potential, but it definitely needs a thorough cleaning before it can be truly enjoyable. I just hope someone takes care of it soon.
Exactly. With a bit of tidying up, this could be an amazing room for kids. Let's hope it gets the attention it needs.
Story time! Now we're going to tell you a story about Tim.
Today, we have an exciting story about how Tim saved the population from a zombie apocalypse. Imagine, our brave Tim found himself in the middle of a zombie outbreak and had to figure out how to save everyone. It was quite an adventure.
Oh no, not a zombie apocalypse. I was panicking from the start. What if Tim couldn't find a safe place? What if the zombies were too strong? I kept worrying about him as he tried to find a way out of this terrible situation.
Stop worrying, Anxiety. Tim isn't just any guy. He's a real hero. Sure, zombies are dangerous, but if anyone can stop them, it's him. If needed, I'll personally deal with those zombies to help Tim save people.
Zombies are just revolting. Their appearance and smell are horrifying. I was completely grossed out. I hope Tim can handle this without getting too close to such disgusting things.
When Tim started taking action, he first gathered a group of survivors and led them to a safe shelter. He came up with a plan for safe movement and defense. Despite the dangers, he kept a positive attitude and inspired others with his actions.
I couldn't stop worrying as Tim led people through ruined cities and dense forests. Every step was risky, and I feared something would go wrong. He did an incredible job ensuring everyone's safety.
Tim acted quickly and decisively. When zombies tried to breach their shelter, he took up arms and protected the people. I was so proud of him for showing he wasn't afraid to fight to protect those with him. We won't let anyone suffer because of these zombies.
With every encounter with zombies, my discomfort grew. These creatures were truly horrific, but I knew I had to support Tim. Despite my revulsion, I recognized that his bravery and determination were crucial for survival.
In the end, thanks to Tim's bravery and skill, the residents were able to build a new safe place and begin rebuilding. Tim became a real hero, and everyone was grateful for his efforts and courage. We were all so happy that we could help him in this great endeavor. It was a story of true heroism and friendship.
I still can't help but admire how Tim managed through this terrible ordeal. He turned panic and fear into hope and safety. It was a very tough moment, but he did everything right.
See anxiety? Tim handled it despite all the difficulties. He defeated the zombies and protected the people. I'm proud of his resilience and bravery.
Yes, despite the horrible moments and the disgust I felt, I'm glad Tim was able to handle the situation. Now we can hopefully rest easy and hope such horrors won't happen again.
And that's the end of our story, friends. Tim showed that even in the toughest situations, hope and strength can be found for the fight. I hope you enjoyed this story as much as we did.
The next story will be about how Tim went on a round-the-world journey.
We have an exciting story about how Tim embarked on a round-the-world journey. Picture this. Tim decided to travel to every corner of the globe, discovering new cultures, meeting interesting people, and having adventures like never before. It was a journey full of joy and wonder.
Oh, traveling around the world sounds thrilling, but it also makes me anxious. What if Tim gets lost in a foreign country? What if something goes wrong with his plans? There are so many unknowns, and I can't help but worry about his safety and well-being throughout this entire journey.
Enough with the worrying, anxiety. Tim is a brave adventurer. He's going to face challenges head on and show the world what he's made of. Sure, there might be bumps along the way, but I believe in his strength and determination. If anyone can handle a global journey, it's him.
Traveling can be so grimy and uncomfortable sometimes. All those crowded airports, dirty hotels, and strange foods. Yuck! I'm already feeling grossed out thinking about all the mess and unpleasantness Tim might encounter. But I suppose he has to endure it to experience the world.
Tim's journey began with excitement as he set off from his home. He first explored vibrant cities, tasted delicious street foods, and marveled at historical landmarks. Each new place brought a fresh wave of enthusiasm and happiness. The joy on Tim's face was contagious as he embraced each new experience.
As Tim ventured into remote areas and unfamiliar places, my anxiety grew. What if he encounters dangerous situations or gets sick? Every new destination seemed to come with its own set of risks. I kept hoping that Tim would stay safe and that his journey would go smoothly, despite my worries.
Even though there were obstacles, Tim didn't let them get in his way. He tackled every challenge with determination and grit. When he faced setbacks, he pushed through, demonstrating his resilience. I was ready to punch any problem that came his way, ensuring he could continue his adventure without too much hassle.
Some parts of Tim's journey were truly unpleasant. From enduring long flights with questionable food to dealing with unclean accommodations, it was a test of endurance. I was cringing at some of the less glamorous aspects of his travels. But I had to admit, despite the discomfort, Tim's spirit never wavered.
Eventually, Tim returned home, full of amazing stories and unforgettable experiences. His journey around the world had been an incredible adventure, filled with new friends, breathtaking sights, and personal growth. It was a true celebration of exploration and discovery, and his happiness was evident to everyone around him.
Even though I was anxious throughout Tim's travels, seeing him come back safe and happy was a huge relief. His adventure turned out to be a fantastic experience, and I felt reassured knowing he managed to handle everything so well.
Despite all the bumps along the way, Tim's journey was a success. He conquered challenges and made the most of every opportunity. I'm proud of his bravery and resilience throughout the entire trip.
Some parts of Tim's journey were truly unpleasant. From enduring long flights with questionable food to dealing with unclean accommodations, it was a test of endurance. I was cringing at some of the less glamorous aspects of his travels. But I had to admit, despite the discomfort, Tim's spirit never wavered.
Our stories have come to an end. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and also leave your comments. See you next time, and goodbye. Hey everyone, guys, how did we end up here? Let's get out of this mode together.
That's right. Guys, help us escape from here by hitting the like button, subscribing, and we'll definitely make it out.
I'm about to punch him. Why the heck did they lock us up here? Let's get out of here, subscribers. Help Tim escape from this place.
It smells terrible in here. How about escaping through the ventilation?
Yes, Tim knows what he's doing. We're definitely getting out of here now.
We're going to end up outside, right? Oh no, it's really high up. I'm worried about our boy Tim.
Anxiety, don't worry. Everything will be fine. Tim is a smart boy. He can handle this obstacle.
Press that darn button, Tim. I'm about to boil over. Who dared to lock us up here? Does someone want our soul?
Tim isn't really gonna jump across those platforms, is he? Well, who am I kidding?
Guys, there's no need to worry. Tim has everything under control. He'll handle it. We just need to believe in him.
I do believe in him, but I'm very, very scared. What if our boy falls? What will happen to him? What if he doesn't make it?
Look how much fun it is here. So many toys. We can play with cars or ride on the big inflatable ship.
Wait, what's that? I see something behind the wardrobe. Oh God, someone is coming out. It's an old woman. She looks really scary.
Look at her. Her clothes are dirty and she looks disgusting. I can't stay here. I'm feeling sick. We need to find an exit quickly.
We're safe. The old woman is gone. I was so nervous, but now I feel like things are a bit better.
It's clear that she couldn't handle us. We managed to find a way out. But remember, if she comes back, be ready.
See, guys, everything's fine. We don't need to panic. Tim is handling it. Now we need to move those boxes so we can reach the ventilation.
I hate vents. It's so cramped and smells terrible. Isn't there another option?
No, Disgust. We don't have any other option but to push through after everything that's happened.
Tim, what are you doing? The vent could be dangerous. What if you get stuck or fall?
Don't worry, Anxiety. Tim looks so brave. Just imagine what an adventure it is to crawl through the vent. It's like in the movies.
Yuck. It's so dusty and dirty. How can you crawl into such a creepy vent? Tim, you should find another way.
Tim, knock down that damn fence. It's blocking our way.
Anger? Why knock it down right away? We can be smarter and not break anything. Tim is a clever boy. He'll find a way out of any situation.
Tim, where have you ended up? This big room looks like a warehouse. It could be dangerous here. What if someone else is around?
Yuck. Everything here is dusty and dirty. This warehouse looks so neglected. I hope Tim doesn't plan to stay here for long.
All right, but let's not forget to be cautious. Places like this often have traps or locked doors. Let's stay vigilant.
Guys, I think it's a great time to tell you a story. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot to us. It all started when we ended up in a class with this teacher. His name was Mr. Grimm, and he was known for giving everyone failing grades and always angrily pointing with his ruler.
When we first arrived in Mr. Grimm's class, I was very worried. The room was gloomy, and all the students looked frightened. Mr. Grimm was stern and irritable, and his ruler seemed so threatening. I was so anxious that this day would be terrible.
From the very beginning, I was furious about how Mr. Grimm treated the students. He was always scolding them and giving failing grades for the slightest mistakes. I wanted to do something to change the situation because his attitude was unfair.
When I saw how Mr. Grimm cruelly and mercilessly treated the children, I felt a deep sense of disgust. It was unpleasant to watch him use his ruler and how his rudeness destroyed the classroom atmosphere.
Despite all this, I decided to try to find a way to change the situation. I noticed that Mr. Grimm was lonely and never smiled. I had an idea. If we could show him how nice it is to be kind, maybe he would change.
I wasn't sure how to do this, but Joy suggested a plan. We decided to start by doing something kind for Mr. Grimm. We prepared small gifts and notes with kind wishes.
I supported the plan but was cautious. I wanted Mr. Grimm to understand how his behavior affected others. We brought him gifts and notes, hoping it would give him a reason to reflect.
At first, I was skeptical. I didn't like the idea of doing something for Mr. Grimm, but I understood that it might help. We carefully left the gifts on his desk and wrote kind words in the notes.
One day, when Mr. Grimm came into the class, he saw the gifts and notes. At first, his face looked surprised, but then, as he read the kind words, he began to change. Gradually, a smile appeared on his face, and he became more friendly.
My anxiety began to diminish when I saw that Mr. Grimm became softer. He started praising students for their efforts and even began using the ruler in more playful games rather than for punishment.
I was amazed by the changes. Mr. Grimm became attentive and understanding. He stopped giving failing grades without reason and started encouraging students for their successes. I was glad that our intervention helped change his attitude.
I couldn't believe that our plan worked, but the results were evident. Mr. Grimm had now become a kind and caring figure, and the classroom turned into a place where students felt comfortable and confident.
Mr. Grimm began spending time with the students, telling them stories and teaching them with a smile. His kindness was so genuine that the class became a place of joy and fun. We were all happy to see how he changed and how he became a beloved figure for his students.
Now I feel I can breathe a sigh of relief. Mr. Grimm has become not only kinder, but also more attentive to his students. It has been a true miracle.
Yes, it was a great change. I am glad that our effort and hard work helped improve the situation. It was a worthwhile endeavor.
Now I am pleased to see that the classroom has become a pleasant place for learning. I am glad that Mr. Grimm changed, and now students no longer have to fear him.
So, joy, anger, anxiety, and disgust helped Mr. Grimm become a kind figure. This story shows that even the most difficult situations can be changed if approached with kindness and understanding.
Did you like it? If so, subscribe to the channel and give us a thumbs up, and let's move on to the next story.
This story is about how anger, disgust, anxiety, and I helped Tim deal with a situation at school. It all started when Tim began coming home upset. He told us that his classmates were bullying him. This was very hard for him.
I immediately felt how Tim was affected by being bullied. I constantly worried that the situation might get worse. I was concerned that Tim might feel even worse, or even refuse to go to school.
I was outraged that Tim was being bullied. It was unfair, and I couldn't stand that someone was treating him so poorly. I wanted to help Tim, but I didn't know how to do it right without making things worse.
I was appalled to hear about how Tim was being bullied. The bullies were so rude and uncivilized that I had no respect for them. I thought they deserved to be shown that their behavior was unacceptable.
I realized we needed to find a way to help Tim without causing harm to anyone. Together, we decided that the best way to help Tim was to support him in a way that made him feel confident and able to defend himself.
I was scared of the idea that we might do something that could make things even worse. But I understood that Tim needed support, and we needed to find a way to help him feel better and more protected.
I suggested to Tim that he should open up and talk to his teacher or parents about what was happening. It was important for them to know about the problem so they could help. I also advised Tim on how to use his words to make it clear to the bullies that their behavior was unacceptable.
I helped Tim come up with ways to respond to the bullies to show them that their actions were inappropriate. Instead of seeking revenge, we decided to demonstrate that Tim didn't have to tolerate such behavior. He could stand up for his rights with confidence.
Together with anxiety, anger, and disgust, we developed a plan to help Tim. He started to confidently speak to the bullies and show them that while they could hurt him, they couldn't break him. We supported him and taught him how to be assertive without being aggressive.
My worry about Tim gradually lessened as I saw him start to show confidence and resilience. He began to feel better and started believing in his own strength. I was happy to see that he was no longer afraid to openly express his feelings.
I am proud of how Tim handled the situation. He not only defended himself, but also taught the bullies that their behavior was unacceptable. It was fair and right.
I am glad that we helped Tim deal with the bullies without resorting to revenge. His confidence and ability to stand up for himself were the best responses. The bullies now understand that they shouldn't treat people the way they treated Tim.
In the end, Tim felt much better. His confidence grew, and he started enjoying his days at school. We were all happy to see him become stronger and more self-assured. It was a great example of how important it is to have friends' support and a proper approach to solving problems.
Now I feel that everything will be okay. Tim has learned to handle difficult situations and not be afraid of them. This was crucial for his confidence and self-respect.
I am satisfied with how everything turned out. Tim was able to show that he wouldn't let anyone treat him badly. It was well-deserved.
I am happy that Tim managed to deal with this unpleasant situation. His confidence and courage were well earned, and he now knows that he deserves respect.
So, with the help of anxiety, anger, disgust, and me, Joy, Tim was able to overcome the difficulties and become more confident. It shows that together we can handle any challenges and help each other become stronger.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye for now.
Hello, dear friends. It's your favorite Joy here, along with my friends Fear, Anger, and Disgust. Today, Tim will be playing a mode called Escape Mr. Brain's Water Park.
Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. With your support, Tim will definitely be able to complete this mode and escape from the dreadful water park.
Damn, what a jerk Mr. Brains is. How dare he treat Tim like that?
Ugh, there's so much water here, and it looks so dirty. It must be contaminated with something. This is really disgusting. Tim, be careful and try not to touch that water.
Guys, don't worry. Everything will be fine. Tim is a grown-up and smart boy. Think of this as just another adventure. It's just another challenge that he can overcome. Let's cheer him on.
Oh no, what is this room? I'm feeling a bit uneasy here. Tim, please be careful. I'm really scared for you right now.
I'm in a rage. Who is this guy? Why is he just standing there? I'm about to erupt with lava. Everything is infuriating me right now. This water park, the man who trapped us here, the dirty water, the wet walls. Ah!
Ugh, it's soap. What's the point of this? Is this some kind of joke? It's horrible, disgusting, and beneath us. Let's get out of here.
Well, guys, the soap, the water, and the pool are behind us. What awaits us next? It's both intriguing and frightening at the same time. Oh, we've entered this strange room. Look at how weirdly it's decorated and the air smells unpleasant. But let's not worry. Tim is handling all these challenges so well.
Oh no, look at that! It's old Mr. Brain! He looks awful and is chasing us with such malice. I'm scared that Tim might be in danger if he doesn't stay cautious. We need to be prepared for anything that might happen.
What the hell is Mr. Brain doing here? Why does he keep chasing us? I can't stand how he's humiliating us and trying to interfere. He's going to pay for this. We're going to deal with him. I won't let him stop us.
Ugh, how awful. Mr. Brain looks so disgusting that it's hard to even look at him, and his smell is just repulsive. I can feel myself recoiling from this horrible sight. But we need to stay strong even if it's revolting. Let's get out of here quickly and find the exit.
Hooray! Tim has escaped from Mr. Brain and made it through the acid. We are so close to victory. Come on, Tim.
That was so scary. I'm really worried about Tim. Oh no, does Tim really have to open those doors? Maybe he shouldn't.
Oh no! God, it smells awful in here. It's so stinky. Disgusting. Tim, get out of here and fast. I want to forget this place like a bad dream.
Guys, how about we tell our viewers a couple of interesting stories? Yes, I think we need to distract ourselves while Tim goes through this mode. Before we start the stories, check your subscription to the channel and hit the like button in 5 seconds if you haven't done it yet. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. If you didn't make it, I'll give you another 5 seconds.
Well, all right. This story is about when we were the emotions in the mind of a very kind and law-abiding person. When we first found ourselves in Mark's head, we couldn't believe he ended up in such a situation. Mark was a good and decent man, but he was unjustly accused and sent to prison for a crime he didn't commit. Despite this, I tried to keep his spirits up and find bright moments in the darkness. Even in prison, you can find joy. In the smiles of fellow inmates, in the rare sunny days when you can walk in the yard. My task was to remind Mark that there is hope and that we must fight for justice.
Every day I felt on edge. Prison is a place full of dangers and uncertainty. I worried about Mark when he encountered aggressive inmates and when he had to cope with the hardships of prison life. I feared he might lose faith in himself and in justice. Every new morning I worried about what might happen and tried to prepare him for any surprises. But I also knew that my anxiety sometimes helped him be more cautious and attentive.
My anger was boiling inside. The injustice that Mark faced was unbearable. How could they imprison an innocent man? I was angry at the system, at those who framed him, and at the situation itself. Every time Mark faced injustice or cruelty, my anger flared up even more. I wanted him not to give up and to fight for his name. My rage sometimes gave him the strength to resist and defend himself in this harsh environment.
I was filled with disgust at the surrounding environment. The prison was a dirty, dangerous place where people often forgot about human dignity. I was repelled by the conditions Mark had to live in. I felt disgust at the injustice that led to his imprisonment. But I understood that Mark had to learn to adapt to survive in this world. I tried to help him find ways to cope with the disgust and maintain his inner dignity.
Sometimes we manage to find joy in the most unexpected places. We began to make friends with other inmates who had also become victims of circumstances. We read books together, played board games, and shared life stories. Mark began participating in prison programs that helped him feel useful and occupied. I saw a spark of hope in his eyes, and that gave me the strength to keep supporting him.
But my anxiety didn't disappear. Every new event could change everything, and I was always on guard. We found out that there was a lawyer who took an interest in Mark's case and was willing to help prove his innocence. This added even more anxiety. What if this attempt also failed? But at the same time, it gave us new hope and a goal.
My anger helped Mark not to give up. When the lawyer started reviewing the case, we learned that there was evidence that could clear Mark's name. My rage at the injustice of the system turned into determination to help the lawyer find all the evidence. Mark felt my strength and used it to fight for his name.
The process was long and arduous, but I tried to remind Mark that we were on the right path. We had to go through this to clear his name from all accusations. My disgust at the situation helped Mark stay determined not to agree with the injustice and to keep fighting.
And finally, the day came when the truth triumphed. The lawyer managed to prove Mark's innocence, and he was released. This moment was filled with joy and relief. We left the prison with a sense of victory and hope for a better future. Mark hugged his loved ones, and we all felt that our struggle had not been in vain.
Although we were out in the free world, my anxieties didn't disappear. Mark had to start his life over, restore his name, and regain the trust of those around him. But now we had hope and confidence that we could handle any difficulties.
My anger was now directed towards helping Mark restore justice and find those who had framed him. We weren't going to stop at what we had achieved. Our fight for justice was only just beginning.
But despite all the hardships, I was proud of Mark. He managed to go through all the trials and come out of them with dignity. Together, we faced the darkest side of life and found the light at the end of the tunnel.
Guys, how did you like the story? Did you enjoy it? Then make sure to hit the like button and subscribe, and we'll keep moving forward. So, the next story is just as thrilling. We find ourselves on a beautiful island, and Tim is enjoying a vacation with his family. The nature around us is simply breathtaking. We're walking along the beach, swimming in the sea, and exploring the jungle. Today is a special day. We're going to witness a volcanic eruption. It's an amazing and rare sight, and I'm so excited that Tim will be able to see it with his own eyes. We're all filled with anticipation and excitement for something incredible.
On the other hand, I'm very worried. A volcano is not only beautiful, but also dangerous. I'm anxious about what could happen. What if there's a strong earthquake or a fire avalanche? We're close to the volcano, and my anxiety is only growing. We need to be careful and pay attention to all the warnings.
When the volcano starts showing activity, I feel anger bubbling up inside me. Why are we so close to this dangerous place? If something goes wrong, who will be responsible? But at the same time, I understand that our task is to help Tim deal with the situation and protect him. I'm ready to use my strength to help him get out of any trouble.
The smell of sulfur starts to fill the air, and I can't help but feel disgusted by it. The gases coming from the volcano are really unpleasant. I try to distract myself and help Tim ignore it, but it's not easy. We need to be cautious and not let these unpleasant sensations ruin our day.
We're at a safe distance, watching as the volcano begins to erupt. It's an incredible sight. Lava shoots into the sky, and hot rocks fall back to the ground. Tim is thrilled, his eyes shining with wonder. I can feel his joy filling me up. This is one of those moments that will be remembered for a lifetime.
But I remain on high alert. I make sure we don't get too close and put ourselves in danger. The volcano is becoming more active, and I start to worry that the situation might get out of control. But for now, everything is under control, and I'm trying not to panic.
People around us are starting to fuss and worry. Some are trying to get closer to take pictures, and it irritates me. Why don't they think about safety? I'm ready to intervene if any of them put us at risk. But for now, I'm trying to keep my emotions in check.
The flows of lava running down the slopes of the volcano evoke mixed feelings in me. On one hand, it's beautiful, but on the other, it's too dangerous and frightening. I try to focus on the fact that this is a unique natural phenomenon, and that we can observe it from a safe distance.
As the eruption begins to subside, we all feel relieved and awestruck. Tim shares his impressions, talking about how amazing it was. I'm glad we could experience this together, and that he had such a unique experience. In the end, this day turned into a real adventure, and we all came out of it a little stronger and happier.
Guys, hit the like button and subscribe. Your support means the world to us. Goodbye, everyone.